All right, Melody Young, Executive Director of the
Ross-Chillicothe Convention and Visitors Bureau.
And there is a huge development this week. So why don't you tell us what it is, and then you can guess as to when it will happen.
Okay, well, I'm going to do my best guess here. So on Thursday, we have representatives from 6 tribal partnerships, Ohio History Connection, and our very own Hopewell National Culture Superintendent, and Dr. Ruby will be heading to Saudi Arabia for the World Heritage voting process. So the vote for 53 different sites is going to start on the 16th of September. The votes will go from the 16th of September through the 20th. With 53 different sites being considered, each site does have 30 minutes to sort of make their case, if they need to make a case, on why they should be inscribed on the World Heritage List. So of those 53 nominations, there was 7 that was recommended for inscription with no conditions. And I am happy to report that Hopewell Ceremonial Earthworks was one of those 7. So of those 7, we think that might not take a whole 30 minutes to make our case. We were waiting for that recommended with no conditions or with conditions. That was really the last step prior to the vote. So we got that news on June 8th. We do anticipate on September 20th, because they will go in alphabetical order in English. So with us being U for United States, we do think that vote's going to come late on the 19th. They are 7 hours ahead of us in Saudi Arabia. So can't tell you the exact hour or minute at this point. I'll be watching the process. You can actually watch the vote and how it's going online. And Kevin, I'll send you that link if you want to post with this news story.
Okay.
So since all of us can't go to Saudi Arabia, we can still watch it and see what's going on. But really excited. I mean, to think we're 8 days away from a possible World Heritage Site in Ohio, the first one for Ohio.
So I misspoke. The vote is tomorrow, but the process is gearing up this week.
The vote is that we expect the vote to be on the 19th.
Not tomorrow, next week.
Yes, next Tuesday is our best guess of when we will actually be voted on.
Okay.
There are 21 countries that will be doing the voting. Obviously, we just need the majority, so we need 11 of the 21 votes to say, yes, you deserve to be inscribed. The outstanding universal value that these sites have, I can tell you that the committee who's been working on this for 15 plus years, there is no question that these do meet the criteria. We had experts here last September. They validated that with the recommendation with no conditions. So we feel good going into this.
So we will be joining the ranks of many other
24 other sites in the U.S., including here in the U.S. You have the Statue of Liberty, we have Mammoth Cave, we have the Grand Canyon, Frank Lloyd Wright's homes. They were the last ones to be inscribed in the U.S. San Antonio Missions, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, Smoky Mountains.
And these are cultural and natural.
They are, and obviously we are going to be a cultural site. And the full inscription, it includes 8 sites, 5 here in Ross County, 2 in Licking County, and 1 in Warren County. And it'll be 1 inscription for the 8 sites. And that name is Hopewell Ceremonial Earthworks.
And Serpent Mound is on the waiting list?
They're on the tentative list. They are a few hundred years younger than the Hopewell sites. So, but they are on the tentative list, and that will be plan B or C down the road. Let's
Okay.
get this one done first.
And we will also be joining internationally Great Wall of China.
The pyramids, there's 1,157 sites total around the world. Like I said, right now to date, there's 24 in the U.S.
And you surprised me in saying that this started more than 150 years ago.
15 years ago.
The whole
Yes,
World Heritage.
the World Heritage.
I thought it was just a recent UN phenomenon.
No, this has been going on for years and years.
So a venerable list to be put on.
It, like I say, it's going to protect these sites, the preservation for generations to come. We want to make sure no one comes in and does a housing development or builds an industry on top of our earthworks, which we know that there's a ton of earthworks here in southern Ohio. Over the years, they've been plowed over from farmers, so this will actually protect these sites.
Now, is that up to local governments to protect it?
No. Again, the sites will not change management-wise with having this designation, but it does put some protection around them. We don't think the National Park Service would have ever damaged the sites we had, but we never know what our future holds, and this World Heritage inscription will help protect those sites for many, many generations.
So the vote will come mid next week.
Yes, hopefully Tuesday, Wednesday at the latest.
And so you'll be watching and send out a release that say, "Yay, we got it." And,
we will. And as soon as actually I know more of an exact timeline, or exact as we can be, we will also put that out as well on the Hopewell Ceremonial site, plus Visit Chillicothe, Ohio
But
Facebook page.
The big local celebration will be a month later.
It will be. It will be October 14th at Mound City. It will take place from noon to 4. We will have Chief Glenna Wallace here to help kick off the celebration. And we'll invite everyone to come out to Mound City for that day.
And the chief has spoken here a couple times.
She has, yes. She has a very compelling story. Whenever I hear her speak and the passion she has and what this, I mean, they truly are going to get the recognition that they have deserved for thousands of years.
And the Shawnees are partnering with...
They are. Shawnees, the
effort.
Eastern Shawnee, the tribes are very supportive of this project. They've been our number one reason that we really wanted to honor what they did all these years ago. And it will be on a world-class stage.
So in the big picture, what does this mean locally to tourism, which I'm also a part of?
Right. Well, I mean, obviously we want to see the tourism. People's going to be interested in these sites. They want to know what they've missed. So tourism is a piece of it. Preservation is a piece of it. I think just the media that you're going to have covering this, again, the only U.S. site that is up for a vote this year. So we are going to get a lot of eyes on us, and people's going to want to come and see what what is the world talking about. So we do see a boost in tourism. But like I said, it's more let the community celebrate, let the world celebrate.
I remember the media swarm when President Bill Clinton visited. And I remember one time there was a crew in a minivan with the door open, driving down the street, shooting video.
As he was running?
It wasn't him, but I think just catching the downtown. So that's the kind of media you expect?
It is. Yes, we expect media not just from all over Ohio, but from everywhere to hear and see what we have.
And then this will put us on a bucket list for a lot of international travelers.
So international travelers, again, you go to other countries, they have lots of sites. They want to visit and experience all the sites. So I don't see that we're going to see an international visitor on October 15th, but I think that we're now in their minds, oh yeah, when I come to the U.S., that's one site I definitely want to visit.
Where we'll get around. So we need to gear up for that.
We need to gear up. We need to get some shuttle stuff ready. We're getting new Airbnbs every week. Love to have a couple new hotels.
Well, we already have a lot of B&Bs, don't we?
We have a little over 100 right now.
100?
Mm-hmm. Actually, we have 113 as of this morning.
Okay. Now they're not all the traditional B&Bs, but that's a huge number.
There's Airbnbs, there's bed and breakfast, and that's how the world travels. I mean, that's definitely how international folks travel. When I went to Italy a few years ago and seen some World Heritage sites, you didn't see a hotel on every corner. You've seen bed and breakfast, and you've seen Airbnbs everywhere.
And a lot of those are in the tourism venue. They're serving the visitors for Tecumseh.
They do. Tecumseh brings in a lot of overnight stays. They also service our corporate clients as well with Adina and PACCAR. But they love to be out, especially I was just talking to a lady earlier today who has an Airbnb in town, and she was telling me their hunting season's already booked up. So we heard that a lot last year, that the Airbnbs did really well during the hunting season.
Okay. I don't suppose they have a gambrel on the back porch for dressing your deer?
I'm thinking not.
Okay. Well, you made a point in the past comparing us to Cahokia and how much their numbers expanded after World Heritage listing.
Our numbers were very similar right now to what Cahokia was experienced before they became a World Heritage site. When they turned on that faucet, just with the designation, they 10 times fold of what they were seeing. I think easily we're going to see a double, if not triple fold in numbers in the next couple of years. And that will continue to spike up probably for like a 5-year plateau. And then we'll hopefully stay pretty even with visitation. So we expect to see a big bump in the next few years, again, as all the PR comes out around this.
And Cahokia is known for Monk's Mound, I think the largest
yes,
earthwork or single mound in the US. And that's across
correct.
the river
from St. Louis. And they actually are owned by the state of Illinois. And it does seem like St. Louis gets a lot of the tourists. When you're standing at Cahokia, you can see the arch of St. Louis.
Yeah, and you pointed out that there's a little town next door
called Collinsville that they haven't seen a big boost. They've seen an increase, but they don't market themselves. One thing that we're doing here is making sure when people come to see Hopewell, they also understand all the other heritage travelers can experience right here in Ross County, not just with Tecumseh, but with our 19th century mansion that we have right here in Chillicothe, Ohio. Our beautiful downtown. People love the authenticity of our downtown and our local shops, our local restaurants. You know, we're not tearing down buildings, we're preserving buildings. And that's a big deal as these visitors come into town.
So we can learn a lot from Cahokia.
We definitely can. What we don't want to do. We want to, when you pull out of Hopewell, you know our downtown is to the left. We don't want to making a right and getting on 23 and heading back to Columbus.
And that ties in with the signage program.
It does, which the first sign for Welcome to Chillicothe is going to be installed September 25th. So keep your eyes out for that one.
A little later than you had hoped for, but...
Everything is supply and demand right now, and we're having a supply chain issue. But we made it very clear to the installers that we have to have the Hopewell and the Welcome to Chillicothe signs installed and ready to go before that big weekend in October.
Okay, so I'm certain you'll send out a news release.
Oh, you'll see it, yes.
Okay.
And like I said, I will also send the link out so you'll have, if anyone else wants to watch this World Heritage Vote with us.
There will be a live video feed?
There will be. You can watch every minute of the vote for all 53 sites.
Are you going to have a ball that drops here and have champagne and...
Champagne, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what can the last question, general public, how will
Mhm.
this affect them? How can they be a part of the World Heritage
Well, we want
effect?
them to get out and experience the sites. I bet there's people right here in our county that hasn't been out to any of the sites probably since they were in 4th grade, maybe 6th grade. It's time to go back and experience what's in your own backyard. Me and Jean went out to Hopeton on Friday. Spectacular view. You know, take that walk, learn what's here, because people's going to ask, where's a World Heritage Site? We need our public, we need our locals to understand and know.
And even just the money side. I think you've said that tourism dollars are circulated 6 times.
So
How does that work?
for every dollar we spend and visitors spend in this area, we see a 6-to-1 ratio on our return of our investment. So for every dollar we spend on ads, we're getting 6 times that back in our community.
And that's something as simple as gas purchases.
Gas stations, restaurants, shopping. Everyone that comes is going to want something to take back with them about Chillicothe.
And so that there's an urge for just gas station attendant to know
Where the sites are, how to get there, what's their hours. We created a cheat sheet back in July and sent to every business we can possibly think of. That will go out again with us actually being a World Heritage Site here next week. We'll be hitting send the minute the vote happens.
So how can people learn more?
You can go to visitchillicotheohio.com. We have a tab under resources that will tell you nothing except information about World Heritage. You can also visit Hopewell Ceremonial Earthworks.org. You can visit any of those Facebook pages, learn more.
And people can also contact you on phone and
Anytime. So our email is info@visitchillicotheohio.com or give us a call at 740-702-ROSS.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Melody Young,
Thank
Director of the Ross-Chillicothe Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate you coming in.